Video on our biology JAMB exam revision series. We're going to check out 20 JAMB repeated questions on the topic theories of evolution. So ensure to stay to the end of this video. Also, you can feel free to pause the video at any point to see if you can get the answer to the question before we provide the answer thereafter. So let's start with the first question here. That's question number 1. The question says, the natural process that produces adaptive evolutionary changes is A. Gene flow, B. Genetic drift, C. Mutation, D. Natural selection. So guys, the answer to this question is option D. That's natural selection. Natural selection happens to be the natural process that produces adaptive evolutionary changes. So let's look at the next question, guys, and that's question number 2. The question says, long neck in giraffe is used to illustrate the theory of A. Origin of species, B. Use and disuse, C. Origin of life, D. Natural selection. So guys, the answer to this question is use and disuse. This theory actually enables us to understand that organisms develop certain features or characteristics based on their need and use for those features. So in giraffes, since they actually need long neck in order to reach out to the tall trees in their environment, they developed this long neck. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's use and disuse. That's the theory that supports this long neck of giraffes. So guys, let's look at the next question, and that's question number 3. The question says, which of the following is most advanced in the evolutionary trend of animals? A. Cockroach, B. Liver fluke, C. Snail, D. Earthworm. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's cockroach. Cockroach happens to be the most advanced in the evolutionary trend of the animals listed here, since they belong to the class that is higher than all the other animals listed here. They belong to the class Insecta, and they are actually higher than these other animals, and as such they will be the most advanced. So remember that higher animals are actually more advanced in the evolutionary trend than the lower animals. So as such, we know that the cockroach, which belong to the class Insecta, are higher, and they have a highly developed nervous system and ability to fly. So all these improved features makes them higher and advanced in the evolutionary trend than the rest of the animals listed here. So let's look at the next question, and that's question number 4. The question says, in terms of the number of individuals, which of the following taxa is most inclusive? A. Class, B. Family, C. Species, D. Order. So guys, the most inclusive here will be the one on the highest level in the hierarchy of taxonomy. So if we check this, we know that in the hierarchy of taxonomy we have domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. So guys, checking it out from the sequence from which I've listed, you'll see that the highest here is the class, and that will be the most inclusive because it will have a large number of individuals to cover than just species. The species will have the smallest number of individuals because it is specific to certain individuals, and they have to be individuals that are most related. So guys, the class is the answer to this question. And let's look at the next question. That's question number 5. The question says, in his theory of evolution, Darwin implied that A, the struggle for existence among living organisms is sporadic, B, the most successful organisms are those that best adapt to their environments, C, Any traits acquired by an organism during its lifetime can be passed on to its offspring. D. Organs of the body which are not regularly used by an organism will disappear. So, guys, in Darwin's theory of natural selection, the one that best suits this theory is option B, and that's the most successful organisms are those that best adapt to their environment. So organisms that best adapt to the environment seemingly will survive more than those who do not adapt to the environment. And as such, the most successful organisms in an environment are those that best adapt to their environment. So guys, let's look at the next question, and that's question number 6. The question says, Lamarck's theory of evolution is based on the fact that A. Organisms acquire genes from their parents. B. Characteristics of organisms are determined by their creator. C. Organisms pass on acquired characteristics to their offspring. D. Characteristics of organisms are the sum of their parents' characteristics. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's that organisms pass on acquired characteristics to their offspring. So this is known as the principle of inheritance of acquired characteristics according to the Lamarck's theory of evolution. So let's look at the next question, guys. That's question number 7. The question says, the mutation theory of organic evolution was propounded by A. Jean Lamarck, B. Hugo de Vries, C. Gregor Mendel, and D. Charles Darwin. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's Hugo de Vries. He's known for suggesting the concept of genes and for introducing the term mutation. So can be coded for developing the mutation theory of evolution. So guys, the next question here, question number 8, it says, which of the following is the most inclusive level of classification in the linear system? So guys, again, here, once you have any question like this that has to do with the most inclusive level, you have to just check out the highest hierarchy out of the classes or out of the groups given to you. Anyone that suggests the highest hierarchy in the group will be the most inclusive. So guys, for this question, we have class, kingdom, order, and phylum. So you remember how to state these groups according to their hierarchy. It's very important, like I said in the previous video, you need to understand how to list these according to their hierarchy. First, you have the domain, and then you have kingdom, then phylum, then class, order, then family, then genus, and finally species. So guys, if you're able to recall this way, you won't have issues answering any question that has to do with hierarchy of taxonomy. So guys, the answer to this particular question will be kingdom, as kingdom is the highest out of all the options we have here. So let's look at the next question. That's question number 9. It says, which is the correct order in an evolutionary sequence for the following plant groups? We have bacteria, ferns, algae, mosses, seed plants. B. Bacteria, algae, mosses, ferns, seed plants. C. Bacteria, ferns, mosses, algae, seed plants. D. Bacteria, mosses, algae, ferns, seed plants. So guys, like we already know, in the evolutionary trend, the sequence will always go from the simplest organism to the more complex organisms. So guys, bacteria happens to be a prokaryotic organism, and as such, it's actually a single-celled prokaryotic organism and should be the first. So that will be followed by the algae, which are thallophytes. Then again, in the sequence, you now have mosses after that, and mosses are actually bryophytes and they are higher than the algae in this sequence. Then after that, you now have the pteridophytes, which are mostly the ferns. So that's why you have the fern here. So after the ferns, you now have seed plants, which are the most complex in this group. So guys, the answer to this question is option B. So let's look at the next question. That's question number 10. The question says, the feature that links birds to reptiles in evolution is the position of A, beak, B, skeleton, C, feathers, D, scales. So guys, the answer to this question will be scales. Scales link reptiles and birds because in the evolution, we realize that feathers are actually regarded sometimes as modified scales. Birds and reptiles are actually linked in evolution by the position of scales. You will notice that scales are still present in feet of birds. So when you consider the other options, you notice that beak does not link birds and reptile. Skeleton is not actually unique to um, reptiles and birds. And then feathers is not linked to reptiles as well. But scale is the only option here that best provides the answer to this question. So guys, let's look at the next question, and that's question number 11. The question says, the sum total of adaptive changes from pre-existing form that have taken place over a long time, resulting in diversity of forms, structure, and function among organisms is referred to as A, speciation, B, evolution, C, inorganic evolution, and D, organic evolution. Actually, organic evolution is the answer to this question, guys, because it is the sum total of adaptive changes from pre-existing or old forms that have taken place over a long time, resulting in diversity of forms, structure, and functions among organisms. So let's look at the next question. That's question number 20. It says, which of the following is one of the Lamarck's theory? So option A says some variations are more favorable to existence in a given environment than others. B, new species originates through the inheritance of acquired traits. C, all living organisms are constantly involved in a struggle to existence. And D, the size of a given population remains fairly constant. So, guys, according to the theory of inheritance and acquired characters, the answer to this question is option B, which says new species originates through the inheritance of acquired traits. So guys, let's look at the next question, and that's question number 13. The question says, according to Darwin, the driving force behind evolutionary change is A, genetic drift, B, natural selection, C, mutation, and D, gene flow. So guys, the answer to this question is natural selection. According to Darwin, the driving force behind evolutionary change is natural selection. So let's look at the next question, guys, and that's question number 14. It says, which of the following scientists was involved in organic evolution? A, Mendel, B, Pasteur, C, Morgan, D, Lamarck. So guys, the answer to this question is Lamarck. Jean-Baptiste Lamarck was a French biologist who was an early proponent of the idea that biological evolution occurred, and this evolution proceeded in accordance with natural laws. So he gave the theory of organic evolution, which is also known as Lamarckism. So the answer to this question, option D, and that's Lamarck. So guys, let's look at the next question. That's question number 15. It says, adaptive radiation is illustrated in A, dentition in mammals, B, appendages in insects, C, wings in birds and bats, D, modified insect mouth parts. So guys, the answer to this question is option D. That's modified insect mouth parts. Actually, adaptive radiation involves evolution of an animal or plant group into a wide variety of types adapted to specialized mode of life. So this specifically can be seen in animal species like the mammals in terms of their skin color, not in dentition. It can as well be seen in the modified insect mouth parts. So guys, out of all the options here, we have the correct answer here is option D, and that's modified insect mouth parts. So let's also note that adaptive radiation is a form of divergent evolution, and it involves the development of certain parts of the body to adapt to certain environmental conditions. So guys, let's look at the next question, and that's question number 16. It says, increasing specialization in structure and function among animals of the same class and order for survival in new and different environments is called A, phylogeny, B, adaptive radiation, C, homology, D, analogy. So guys, an increasing specialization in structure and function among animals of the same class and order for survival in new and different environments is called adaptive radiation. So let's look at the next question, guys. The next question is question number 17. It says, the best explanation for the theories of natural selection is that A, habitats allow only organisms that will not have to compete for survival. B, organisms compete for resource and better competitors survive the thrive. C, all organisms have equal capacity for survival in their habitats. And D, organisms have varying capacity for survival in their habitats. So guys, the answer to this question is option B. Organisms compete for resource and better competitors survive the thrive. And this is the option that best has an explanation to the theories of natural selection. So guys, let's look at the next question, question number 18. Which of the following theories was not considered by Darwin in the evolutionary theory? A, competition. B, survival of the fittest. C, use and disuse. D, variation. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's use and disuse. Actually, use and disuse was not considered by Darwin. Rather, it's a theory that was proposed by Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. So guys, let's look at the next question. That's question number 19. The question says, the hierarchy of organic evolution in plants progressiveness is A, pteridophyta, spermatophyta, talophyta, schizophyta, and bryophyta. B, bryophyta, pteridophyta, spermatophyta, talophyta, and schizophyta. C. Talophyta, schizophyta, bryophyta, pteridophyta, and spermatophyta. D. Schizophyta, talophyta, bryophyta, pteridophyta, and spermatophyta. So guys, the hierarchy of organic evolution in plant progressiveness is seen in option D, and that's schizophyta, talophyta, bryophyta, pteridophyta, and spermatophyta. So this is how they progressively increase in organic evolution in their hierarchy. So this sequence represents the evolution of plants from simple to complex form. So starting from the schizophyta, which are the simplest, they are actually the simplest unicellular plant organism. So that will be followed by the talophyta, and the talophyta happens to be a bit more complex than the schizophyta, and then you have the bryophyta, which are considered the non-vascular plants and are higher in this hierarchy of organic evolution than the talophyta. Then you now have the pteridophyta, which are the first true vascular plants, and then followed by the spermatophyta, which is the most complex out of all these. So guys, this is the correct sequence, and that's option D. So let's look at the next question and the last. That's question number 20. It says, in the theory of use and disuse, Lamarck proposed that evolution occurred because of the following, except A. There is great changes in the environment. B. Organism develops specialized characteristics. C. There is natural selection of offspring. And D. The characteristics, the characters are inheritable. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that is there is natural selection of offspring. So guys, the option C is not aligned to the theory of Lamarck. Rather, it is a theory proposed by Charles Darwin and not Lamarck. So it's in line with the theory of natural selection. So the theory of natural selection is actually Darwin's theory and not that of Lamarck. So guys, this will be the end of this video. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're not yet a subscriber. Also, if you have any question regarding this video, feel free to drop your question on the comment section below, and we'll ensure to give you a response. Don't forget to share this video with your friends to help us reach out more people. Thank you.